October 2nd, 2016. Guys, you're looking at late images of the Caribbean from the satellite, and this is Hurricane Matthew. You can see the last few as the line goes across that the cameras are automatically switching to infrared because it's too dark to see the visual images. A couple of things we really need to pay attention to here. We're starting to get a northwest turn. It made another loop. Will it continue the northwest turn? I'm not sure. We'll look at several different satellite images of the storm. Now, one thing, as we put the longitude and latitude overlap on this thing, you can tell the northwest movement. See it moving up into that corner. But notice where Jamaica is about to get that left front quadrant, the left front quadrant. But in the right front quadrant is some of the highest thunderstorm clouds associated with the entire hurricane. And that's been the storm that we've seen as the other glob that's been following it. The problem here is Haiti is going to catch it, and there's still a lot of people living in tents and just really bad shelter because that Clinton Foundation money never quite got there. It was billions of dollars. Hillary promised to build a big hospital that's never been built. These people were taken for granted. They had no money. But billions came in from around the world. Millions of United States taxpayer money never made it there. Some of the big hotels and things like that and Friends got good deals. Here I've overlaid what's called high density winds at high levels. The flags, if you want to call them this, are tilted into the wind, and you can see by the rotation of the hurricane how they're leaning into the direction. Now let's look between the hurricane and the Gulf of Mexico. The flags are tilted downward. That's telling you we've got that high level wind that's going to try to steer the storm up. So we've got a battle going here. That's the mid-level winds, and they're going the opposite way. If you go to all the way down the line to your low-level winds, they're fighting the high-level winds as well as working with the mid-level winds, trying to push the storm further west and south. So we've got a battle of the high winds here. Again, let's click on that. They are leaning, telling us the wind's coming from the bottom left corner of this image up across Cuba and the bottom of the Florida Peninsula. We add in the other the low-level winds, they're going the opposite direction. So we're going to see shearing at the top. Will that shear factor be enough to completely keep this out of the Gulf of Mexico? We've got a great battle going on, and it's really fall versus summer if you want to think about it that way, because the temperatures are much cooler, much nicer back in the States. Guys, Haiti is going to be in trouble. These red clouds at the last frame tonight showing two things. One, the storm has made a one frame left turn instead of to the north. The other are the clouds to the back right of this circle. They are larger and higher and hotter, more rain in them than in the center of circulation at this point. Again, they followed this storm for the last 3 days. It's like it wants to wrap them in, but the shear's keeping an entire different storm, not with the center of circulation, and that's not what's important, but these people in Haiti and as it goes across the Bahamas are going to see record rains. Now, because of that north turn, and this is at 7 p.m., there will be another update tonight. You can see all but one model has moved offshore as far as the center of circulation, and that was putting the eye right over the Bahamas. But anywhere in here, you've got Puerto Rico, Jamaica's going to get hit first, Haiti, and then into the Bahama Islands and Florida. Again, this is a different satellite, but see these large white clouds on this back right upper side in the last frame. I'll stop it here, guys. Watch this. Right there. 3 large ones, and that's fixing to put record rain wherever they travel. And those are huge clouds around the eye of the center of circulation. But these are much larger. Look at the difference in the infrared spectrum. Look how light they are. Look how tall. So everywhere that this quadrant travels, there's going to be a double impact. Always that same quadrant, the northwest quadrant of the eye, gets the largest impact, guys, because of wind and waves being pushed on shore. But you've got another separate storm out there. You don't really see that this often. I can't really remember seeing it not wrap completely up at this time. It's doing two things: record rain out behind it, plus look at the width that it's creating of destruction now. It's not just centered around that eye, but it's pushed and filling almost that entire quadrant. Again, we've got the battle of fall and the battle of summer going on here, guys. We're nearing the end of hurricane season. We're getting into October. It goes up, I think, to around the 1st of November. But check this out. You've got here are our wind vectors. Now, these are pushing close to the surface, and it matches the surface level winds we were watching on the first map. So we've got that pushing across. Now, if you look over into the Gulf, you can see the wind shear pushing the top of the clouds at higher levels back over the Atlantic and eastward. So it's going to be of who's the strongest and at what point do they balance out. And that upper level shear could have had something to do with this rotation. Check this out. These are what's called the streamlines. They are also starting right in this area in the last frame, guys. You can see that north-northwest movement. But as soon as you rise out of that area in this last frame, it starts pushing it back south and west, back down to the bottom left of the screen. Again, it will depend on where these two fronts meet as we switch images. You've got the large one coming across the southeastern and moving up to the northeast United States. What will be the strongest one? There's also a front moving the opposite direction above this hurricane, guys, moving into the east coast, that's giving it some pressure from behind. But as we look at this, look at the density in the tall black clouds in this particular enhancement. And they're much stronger, and we've got much more rain in them than we do around the eye of circulation at this point. Again, we're dealing with a Cat 4 storm, and with something trailing that much stronger behind it and not yet completely attached to that wall, it's going to bring massive rain to these islands that we're seeing above here, then to the Bahamas, and then everywhere it goes. And this thing could possibly, as it steps into the area around Jamaica and then crosses over, you're getting into warmer water. But guys, this is an impressive image. At a Cat 4 to be separated like that, you don't see it that much. And for the cloud tops to be that much higher and stronger is very unusual. If this thing wraps together, it's just going to be that much more powerful as far as wind strength. But right now, there's going to be massive flooding across these islands. It's a heads up. Be safe.